Welcome to another episode of Real Estate Talks with Flinks Realty. I'm Bright Okereke, and today we are going to be talking about something very, very important. I'm going to be explaining 6 different strategies you can use in investing in real estate. When people hear about real estate investment, they are constantly thinking buy land, buy house. Today we'll cover that and also explain other ways you can get involved with real estate. There are 3 of those ways. The last 3 I'm going to cover, they are quite unique, not as common as most people have seen, that you can also use to make very good returns. In fact, one of the ones I'm going to explain to you is where you can make up to 100% return within a year or a year and a half, depending on the capital you put into it. So 6 ways. One of the first investment strategy you can use in real estate is buying land. Now, you can either buy land to appreciate later. You go to developing areas. Currently in Lagos, Ibejuleki, Ekpe, those areas are hot right now. So if you buy now that it's developing, in a couple of years, you sell for a higher price. So 5 years, 6 years, you sell back. Another thing you could do is buy land in an already developed place. So you buy land in a developed place and then you build. You get rent, and that way you make your money. You can also even buy in developed place and sell later for interest, because even developed areas increase fast, though not as fast as that of developing areas. In developing areas, you can make up to 5, 6, 8, 10 times your money within a couple of years. So it depends on what you're looking at. Another investment strategy you can use is buying houses for rental value. Buying houses for rental value. This is not very common, as I've seen over time. Now, one of the major issues with buying house for rental value is I see investors when they want to get a property. Many times, they are more concerned about the looks of the house than how much they are getting. Now, it's a different situation where you're buying the house to live in it. It's another thing when you're buying for rental value. When you're buying for rental value, you have to tone down your aesthetics, because some people are very concerned with aesthetics. Tone down your aesthetics and focus on the numbers. How much will this property give me in a year, 2 years? Now, one of the advantages of this is you get profit on both sides. So there's cash flow. So the property is paying you rent every year, every month, depending on how you design it. Then you also enjoy capital appreciation. So if you buy a property 40 million, next 3 years, next 4 years, sell for 60. I've seen a lot of clients do this and they make a lot of money. So there's value appreciation and then there's rental value, because that will help you with current needs. So if you need to pay your child's school fees, you need to handle urgent needs, you can be able to do that with your cash flow, your rent, whatever you're getting as rent. You can use it to maintain yourself. Or like if you get land, when you get land, if you want money from the land, you probably have to sell it. So that's rental value. Strictly rental value. Look out for how much is the rent. How long will it take you to make your money back? Now, on average, a good deal, 10 years. 10, 12 years. So you are buying a property full ownership. 10, 12 years, you make your profits. Not so good, 15 years. So anything from 15 years down, really good. Sometimes, if you are lucky, you see properties where in 7 years, you can get your money back from rental value. If it takes you up to 20, 25 years to get your money back, it's not very good of a deal. It's okay because you still enjoy capital appreciation, but it's not a very good deal because you can easily get ones where in 15 years, 12 years, you've got your money. So the way it works is 15 years, you've gotten the money you spent on buying the property, but the property is still yours. And in that 15 years time, by the time you sell it, you probably sell it maybe twice the amount you bought it. So that way you have a win-win situation. It's a long-term game. Real estate generally, you have to be patient. In fact, investing, you have to be patient and be willing to take risk and be also willing to see your money work for you. It takes time. So but with rental income, you get, if you invest in one this year, by next year you can start getting money. So every year you get your money, get money before you choose to sell. So that's the second way you can get money from real estate. The number 3 way you can also invest in real estate is running short-let apartments. Now, over the years, this has become very common. More and more people are getting into it. Before you get into it, you need to learn. It's a whole business on its own. I would recommend, if you don't have time to learn so much, you partner with someone who already has understanding in the industry and be able to get it, because a lot of it is marketing. setting up a short let apartment is mostly marketing. So the way it works, it depends on you. You can either lease a place, you lease a building, you set it up, put table, chair, bed, furnish it as though someone is living there. Then people will come and rent from you on a daily basis. It's very similar to running a hotel, but with more comfort. So it's more home-like. So you can cook and do some other things that you might not have luxury of doing in a hotel. So people prefer it sometimes to hotel, depending on maybe they are staying longer, they are staying for like a month, 2 months, or they just like the fact that they can cook and do other things, be able to get guests. So if you are doing short let, I would recommend maybe a 1 bedroom, 2 bedroom, or 4 bedroom duplex for a short let. Now it depends on the location. There are a lot of details that go into it. But the idea is this: if the rental value of a place is supposed to be 1 million yearly or 1.2 yearly, if you do short let and you're collecting daily, you're collecting maybe 20-25k a day. At the end of the day, the apartment where you're supposed to make 1 million, you're now making 3 million, 3.5 million yearly. And that makes it a lot more profitable for you. But with short let, you need to be able to understand the location. A lot of things go into detail. It's not an investment you just walk into and start making big bucks. You need to learn. Generally, investment, you need to learn a lot about whatever industry you are investing in, then the particular investment you are making. So whenever you want to put your money there, you've worked hard for your money. Whether it's 10 million, 30, 100, 2 billion, you've worked hard for your money. So you need to be sure that where you're putting your money is safe and you'll be able to get good returns from whatever investment you're making. Now, the fourth way is quite rare, right? I've not seen a lot of people talk about it. More people need to talk about it. Is buying old houses. There's a very good market there. So the way it works is you go on listings and you look for houses that are not newly built. Maybe they built it 6 years ago, 7 years ago. Most of them are distressed sale. Many of them are still working with the prices of when the owner bought, maybe 5 years ago price. But these houses don't look that good. That's why it's a big turn off for most investors. They don't look good. They are usually, the paint is washed up and things like that. So the way it works is you buy the property and then you renovate it. When you renovate, you can now choose to either sell or rent. If you rent, you get a lot higher returns from it. A couple of years ago, I had a client that did one with me. He got a property for like 53 million, very old house, renovated it, changed the unit. It was previously a 3 bedroom per floor. Then he changed it to studios and 1 bedroom. He restructured it. At the end of the day, he was making returns more than 10 million every year. That same year, he did another one with me, which was even a better deal. He got it for 45 million, a 3-story building for 45 million in Yaba, which was, in fact, it was just a great deal. At the end of the renovations and everything, he was making about 10-12 million from it, which is very, very, very profitable. So at the end, we are looking at 5 years. Within 5 years, he would have gotten the money he spent on acquiring the property. So with something like that, you'll be able to make very good returns from properties. But here are the cons. The buildings most times are hard to find. Good deals are scarce. So many times you don't get that easily. Then also the renovations, you need a good engineer to make sure that the structural integrity of the house is still intact. So you don't go and buy a house that is faulty. Those things, once you put those things in place, then work with a professional. You should be able to get good deals. Then another thing is capital intensive. It's not something you can do with 10 million, 20 million. Most houses that are available now are like 60, 70, 80 million because you buy a building with multiple units. That's where you see the most money. If you buy one house with 2-3 units, you might not see good profit from it. So that's another way you can invest in real estate. The next investment strategy I'm going to be talking about also isn't very common. Long lease. It has been gaining traction over the last 3-4 years, where you get a property for a long period of time. So you are looking at 15-year lease, 20-year lease. Even I've seen 25, some 30 years. So the way it works is it's an easier way for you to get into the rental market, where you are making your money yearly from rent or monthly. So let's say you want to do a short let apartment I wouldn't advise you to rent to do short let because it's very dangerous. I did one in 2019. After I renovated, set up everything, the landlord kicked me out after 1 year and started running the business himself. So I will not recommend anybody to do rental. So if you are going to do short let, lease. So with this one now, you lease 20 years, 15 years. You get your rent yearly. So that way you can use it to settle urgent bills. And it's a lot more affordable. So you're looking at most of the investments around from 3 million up to 8, 10 million, depending on how many bedrooms you are getting. Let me give you a case study, one of the projects we're working on. It's 4.5 million, 20 years. So 4.5 million, 20 years. Your rental value normally is 600,000. So if you do 600,000 in like 7 years, you get your money back. This is minus increase in rent because 600,000 today, in 3 years time, probably 700, 750. In 7 years, you get your money. 13 years is still there for you to be making money every year. So the way it works is probably you want it to be handling your urgent expenses. Like me, I have plans of getting like a couple of them this year so that I'll know, okay, these lease properties are going to be handling my living expenses. So I know every year I'm making 10 million for my lease apartment. I know for the next 20 years, I'm getting 10 million every year. I'm covered. So that's what the money is for spending. Once I get it, I spend it on myself. So you can do that for your child too. You have a child that's currently 3 years old, 2 years old. You buy a lease for that child. You know, okay, every year you are getting 600, you are getting 1.2. That 1.2 million, you know, is for your child. You can now use it to say, okay, you are paying school fees, you are paying for this, you are saving the rest for the child. So you make a one-time investment and then it keeps you up for like 20 years, 15 years. So the way it works is it gives you a long time and then it's affordable. So a property normally, let's say a studio, you are supposed to get 13 million for full ownership. Normally, if you want to buy it, it's 13 million. Now you get a 20 years lease for 4 million. Sometimes you can say 3.7 or 4.2, depending on the facilities you are providing. So that way it gives you an easier entry into the market and you'll be able to be making returns every year. Now the last part, the last investment, I saved the best for the last. If you want to double or triple your money in real estate, this is the one you should pay attention to. The last one is partnership with real estate developers. Partnership. Not a lot of people do this. Not a lot of people even know that they can do this. One of the most profitable investments is actively working in the industry. We recently did a partnership with someone and she invested a couple of tens of millions and she's on track to double that money this year just by partnership. So the way it works is you meet a developer that is about building a project and you meet them and say, okay, what is your profit margin on this project? Say, okay, we're making 40%, 50% on this project, 60%, depending on the project. And say, okay, I'll give you this amount of money. Maybe the developer needs 200 million. Say, okay, I have 50. I'll give you 50 million. How about you are making 60% on the money you use in developing or 70%. Give me the same 70% that you are making. Some we agree, some won't. You can even get as good a deal of 50%. And usually these deals might take a year or less to conclude. So if you have 100 million now, you put into one deal, you make 50% within 9 months, a year. You can now you have 150 million, you can put it into another deal. That way it gives you faster returns. In 3-5 years, your money has gone times 5. So, but you need to be able to understand very well the project. Make sure the project is very profitable. It's a profitable project, and then you trust the developer you're working with. When you trust the developer you're working with, the project is profitable, you make good returns. So here are the 6 ways I think you could invest in real estate that are very, very good. So if you are interested in investing in all of these 6 ways, you can comment your question. If you have any question on any of them, comment. You can try and reach out to us. There'll be a link for you to be able to contact us. If you're looking at investing in any of these ways, you need help with it. Some of them I do, some of them I don't. I can recommend people because I know people in the industry. I can recommend, okay, this person would help with this. So we can give you recommendations on some of the different ways if you're interested in any of them, or you will need help partner with anybody on any of these different ways. So with this, I hope you'll be able to make better investment decisions. So like, comment, subscribe, and we'll see you next time. Thank you very much.